All right, welcome back, artists. We are now ready to print our etching. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that the etching is on the proper side, because this won't work if it's not. What you're going to need is some paper towels, some ink, okay? You're also going to need a water bath. So I have this over in the printmaking station, and what I've done is I've taken my printing paper and I'm just soaked it in a real thin layer of water, just so it's nice and ready for that transfer. Here we go. So it's just soaking, and you'll see I have a glove on because we're going to be using that ink. And this is a permanent ink. If it gets on your clothes, it's not coming off. But even that on your hand, it's just a little harder to get off your hand. So I'm using a glove. You don't have to, but I recommend it. And then last but not least, you're going to need a brayer. And this is in with our printmaking, but this is 2 pieces of felt that I'm going to be using to try and help soak up a little bit of that water, but better yet, kind of add a soft pressure later. You'll see. So first things first, we're going to ink up our etching. So I take that paper towel and I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on the paper towel. Oh, this is kind of watery. Should mix this up here first, because the ink does kind of, it does separate a little bit in between. So hopefully this will be a little better for us. Try that again. It's hard to do with just one hand. It's like a tube of toothpaste. When it gets kind of down, you gotta kind of press it up. And I don't need a lot of ink, okay? This is probably even too much. But what I'm gonna do is I'll just take a little tiny bit, and I'm kind of like working it into the surface of my etching. You can really hear that, can't you? I really want to get into all of those little scratches that I made. Now I'm going to set that aside. Again, printmaking is one of those things that you want to do several of, okay? So this would be my first print. Now what I'm doing, you guys, is I'm literally just kind of wiping away all the extra ink, which is why I really have several pieces of, I might even need more, of paper towel. I just want to get all the extra ink that I don't need out and off the plate. I do like just a little bit around the edges that kind of defines, but I don't have to do too much. There we go. And let's just a little bit in here, because I really want it to be, I want to see those precise lines that we created, right? That we worked so hard for. So if I pick this up, you can really see that now, right? Ooh, there's a couple areas I missed. I'm going to get that. Now the fun part. Okay, so I can take my glove off because I'm kind of done with that inking piece. And I'm going to take my paper out of the tray, and you want to kind of hold it at an angle. The extra water will drip off that point. We don't want to have a ton of extra water, right? For whatever reason, it drips faster off that point. And now I'm going to place this on that piece of felt. Be careful to, like, I've got some inked up places here. I want to keep that paper as clean as possible. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my etching. Make sure you place it down the proper direction. We want to have that ink towards the paper. And one of the things is, once this is down, it's down. You can't pick it back up. And if you look at it from here, What you notice is I've really worked to make it centered and even. I might not be perfect, but that's what I'm going to work for. I put my second piece of felt on top, and now I'm going to just roll back and forth. I'm holding this in place. I'm applying pressure to that brayer. You can see the water starting to soak through, right? And that's a good thing because kind of gives us a defined edge of where we should be using that brayer. I'm really pressing down. Maybe I'll go a different direction. Normally what we'd use is a printing press, but because we are in elementary school, we don't really have one of those. I'm ready to see how this baby looks. So I'm going to do what's called pulling your print. And that's literally just pulling this up. Oh, that was actually ink sneaking out. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, totally didn't work at all. I wonder if my paper was too wet. Interesting.